Hello, this is Steve from Beaute's Leatherworks. Today's project is this poor Gucci purse. It's seen its better days. Fortunately, that tag is gone. Can't replicate that. So what we're going to do, we're going to somehow figure out how to fix the cracking on this main body. We're going to put new piping, fix the corners. We're going to restitch these straps right here because these are basically made out of cotton. I gotta get the phone. Good afternoon, Beaute's Leatherworks. Can I help you? Sorry about that. We're open today, so gotta hurry it up. So anyway, I'm gonna see if I can replace this piece here. Add a new piece on this side to try to cover some of the cracking, surface. Replace the piping, stitch all this up because these are made with cotton stitches. And now it's going to be nylon stitched. Put a new lining in it. I think the zipper is okay. I might change it. And then basically just clean and condition everywhere and anywhere that needs it. All right, so this was an $800 job. And once it gets done, I think it's going to look real nice. All right, let's get started. This is a lot of work here we got here. But you know what? Once it gets done, it's going to look real nice. This is a birthday present to her mom. I guess she's had it for maybe 30 years or so. Not sure exactly how many years, but very old. These are spring pins, basically, see? It's got springs in them, like a watch band type. Not all of them are made like this, but this one is. These are faded too, so we're gonna clean dye the handles also. All right, let's go. We're going to put a blue nylon lining inside. I got to sharpen this thing. Where's my sharpener, amigo?
It's on
the other side. This is going to be fun. No, don't worry. I'm going to talk on this video. After the backlash I got. You think I'm going to go through that hell again? Hell no. We're going to have some nice dad jokes too. God, there's a staple in there. I just went across it and just Messed up my blade. Come on now. There she be. All right, let's continue. Cool, we are done. Well, we're done taking it apart. Just gonna put a little arrow right here. Basically that tells me that the zipper closed that way. So when we get done, that'll be exactly what we finished, what we started with. Oh lordy, lordy, lord. I wonder who I triggered when I sharpened my blade again. Who cares? Who cares? You know who says that? My wife's cousin from Bulgaria. He's a jeweler. Oh, for all you Marylanders, he's in Kensington, Maryland. His shop's name is Kensington Jewelers. His name is Mardik. Mardik. M-A-R-D-I-G. Very good guy. Very heavy accent. He sounds like a Russian, whatever. But he's Armenian from Bulgaria. If you guys are around that area, stop by and see him. Tell him I sent you. He'll give you a 5-finger discount. Oh, you don't know about the 5-finger discount? Oh Lord, there goes the phone. I gotta go. Okay, let's continue. Good afternoon, Beaute's Leatherworks. Can I help you? So we're going to salvage these pieces. This is what you got underneath. Paper. Yep. And yes, we're going to replace all that. Man, that thing smells. Woo. Well, it's not really paper. It's got mixture of stuff in it. Like a fiberboard type thing. There she goes. So what we're going to do, we're going to replace that paper with some sort of a nylon reinforcement throughout the whole strap. It gives it structural support. All right, let's continue. Now, what some people don't realize that this is not leather. These are not leathers. It's canvas with a dye coating on the surface. It has leather trim on it. That's about it. Everything else is not leather. Some people think that just because it's Gucci or Louis Vuitton, the face of the, you know, the imprinted areas are leather. Now, they do make leather imprinted, you know, surfaces, but the majority of what you see out there is this canvas coated dye pattern. Dye. Now we just got to clean it now. Clean the old stitches, clean the surface a little bit as best as I can. I mean, you know, see underneath the straps here, it's all nice and light color. I'm going to wash the surface here in some of these areas here that you'll see. I don't know if you can see it or not. See, it's got some discoloration, lighter colors. I'm going to see if I can dye over that and see if we can blend that surface in a little better than what it is now. All right, let's continue. So this was the front of the bag, okay? This was right up here, just like that. We're gonna make a new piece where we're gonna make this a little bit wider here, so it'll cover these cracked areas. And then we're gonna turn around and do the same thing on the other side. Kind of mimic this pattern, and then once again, covering up these torn vinyl areas, or nylon or canvas coated, whatever you want to call it. That way both of those will be covered, reinforced, and then the pattern will look symmetrical in front and back. All right, let's continue. It's a bit dirty on this one. Now we can clean this, or flip this around. Look at that. Nice and clean and beautiful, like brand new. Okay, that's what we're going to do. But we'll clean this side too, just to clean them up. All right, let's continue. These are the side tabs, sides of the zipper. When you hold on to this tab and you close the zipper. Now there were two pieces of this, top and bottom. The bottom was torn. I salvaged the top. What we're going to do is add a little. This is a nylon fabric. Salvaged it from an old purse. Nylon wasn't, the lining was in great shape, so I saved it. So now I reuse it to add a little structural support to those tabs and put a new piece of leather on the bottom. Now you've got the original leather that's reinforced underneath with the new leather piece on the bottom. Now you can tug on this as much as you want. It's not going to fall apart and stretch and tear because it's got this nylon reinforcement underneath. This is just an anvil that had it made up a long time ago. Just a piece of metal. We had a, there was a shop in, not too far from here, was a welding shop, and they used to throw stuff away in the trash. Stuff that they couldn't use. So I'm like, well, you know, I could use some of those pieces. I asked them if they could cut those pieces into sizes I want. You know, of course, paying for it, for their time, and weld it together. And, you know, 30 years later, still use it. I have a few of these So this is what I call, it's like an anvil. All right, let's continue. The same pattern as what we had, just a little bit larger. About an inch and a half wider than what it was. Now this is not the finished color. It'll be a little bit more tinted down than this, because if you look here, you can definitely tell the difference. One's more blue than the other one. So we're going to tint that down a little bit. Not quite done just yet. Let's continue. All right, we got those two pieces stitched on. Okay. Now we've got these nylon pieces. I'm going to reinforce the strap ends there. And then we're going to take this nylon piece and we're going to secure the whole strap all the way down, because these are just kind of, these pieces are just going to reinforce the ends of the strap there. Now there's not going to be much stress on the rest of the strap, but you know what, since we got it apart, might as well put some sort of a reinforcement piece in there. I think structurally, since we can do it, might as well do it now. Now the strap, okay, basically you've got, whenever you've got a round purse, okay, the exterior piece is longer than the interior piece. We're gonna call this the exterior piece, and we're gonna call this the interior piece. So what we're gonna do, if we line up all the original holes, like from the ends here, okay, see, if you pull the strap tight or against this surface, it's going to be about ½ inch longer here. So what you need to do, whenever you're stitching a curved piece, this exterior piece is going to be longer than the interior piece, because when it's curved like this, it's nice and flat. If this is too short, flat even with this piece, as you turn it, it'll look like the strap is choking the purse, okay? You don't want to choke the purse, okay? Poor purse. So I've got some glue on here. I'm going to leave it a little bit high here, you see, but when you curve it, it flattens down even on the body of the purse. Kind of tricky to do, but as you're stitching it, you got to kind of bend it a little bit so it doesn't choke the purse. All right, let's continue. we got the zipper stitched. That's a new zipper, by the way. I decided to replace the old one. Now, look at the little detail here. You guys see the second row stitch? It stops right there. See that? All right, I'll tell you guys later why I do that. I did that on all 4 corners, okay? And I use the gray stitch in the back. Now, that second row stitch that we're going to put next to the zipper is going to hold the lining in, okay? Some people ask, well, how do you line up the second row stitch with the lining so well? Let's say this is the lining. Oh, it's the old lining. You have the hemmed edge like that. You glue it right below the gray stitch, okay? The stitch is your guideline. You glue it right below that. And then when you go and stitch it right below that stitch, the lining lines up 100%. Okay? That's how you do that. All right, let's continue. Switched over from the post machine to this flatbed because this foot right here is a piping foot. It's curved on the inside to accommodate that piping shape. The post doesn't have that. I'm just going to do some relief cuts because I'm kind of stitch around a corner like that, and a round shape I should say, not a corner. The relief cuts kind of relax the leather. There's my tab that I stitched on already. Basically look like this. Okay, so we've got the lining already stitched. Now you guys remember those double stitches, that second row stitch actually, that we were talking about earlier. Okay, so we're going to glue the lining in, and then we're going to continue the second row stitch from here all the way to here. You can't really stitch it all the way. Okay, That's why we put that second row stitch ahead of time, so we can continue that. And it'll look flawless once it gets done. All right, let's continue. All right, we are almost done. Now these handles are not the original handles, okay? The original handles were pigskin, like this that I replaced with. But I mean, these are in great shape. They're not bad at all. So we're gonna leave them the same. Pigskin, you see the little details. You guys see those little holes? That's the hair follicles. That's where all the hairs were. That's why you can see that. That's how you can tell it's pigskin. Well, I think I'm going to get the customer's reaction, so stay tuned for that, okay? Because she's going to come pick it up today, and since we're closed today, we can she can talk about the bag and give it some background, maybe. Cool, I'm so excited. I think it turned out good. I like this one. All right, welcome back. We're done with another project. I think it turned out very nice. Basically took that front pattern, made it a little bit longer to cover those torn areas, and match the pattern in the back. Put a new zipper on, new piping, new lining. I think we've got a fairly decent bag. Now, get rid of the stains on the back. Where'd it go? You guys see those stains right there? I mean, I cleaned it as best as I could. It's still there. But you know what? I touched it up. It didn't look good. Cleaned it back up, and we're going to leave it as is. We don't want to mess it up to more than what it is. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. If you guys have any comments, positive, negative, I'll take it all. Anything you want to give. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and give me a thumbs up. And we'll see you guys on our next project. Take care. All right, guys, you guys always ask for a customer's response, but most of my order that's come in is all mail order. I can't get a response as well, you know, if customers are walking in. So this is Emma. Emma is the owner of the Gucci purse, and she's here to pick it up.
Hi, guys. Oh my God.
There we go. There's a lot of details in there.
Oh my God. You said you weren't going to be able to make it look new.
Well, you know,
you lied to me.
You remember the cracks around the straps? That was the issue that I was having, because I didn't know how I would tackle that. And I figured, you know what? So the piece here was a little bit smaller, and the cracks are underneath there. So I just kind of made a bigger piece and put another one here to match the pattern. So, cool. So tell us about the bag. All right, take a deep breath.
Oh my God.
This is the kind of reaction that we want. So
I can't even believe this is. Oh my God. So. Oh my God.
So you'll watch the video how it was done. It was completely disassembled.
She's gonna freak.
Yeah.
She's gonna. Okay.
That's awesome.
So this bag is 33 or so years old.
Wow. I was guessing like 25, but it's older than that, right?
My mom carried this bag when she was pregnant with my brother, who's older than me.
Wow, that's so cool.
I'm 35.
That's so cool.
So I want to guess it's at least 35 years old, but I'll just be on the safe side and say a little less. So this is a bag that I didn't think was going to come back from anything. She gave this to me when she was like, you know, I think maybe about 20, and she was just like, if you want to get a nice bag, get this one refurbished and don't go buy a new one. And it just sat in my closet for 15 years. And it came time to figure out like a creative gift, because you can go buy new things every single day. But her parents are getting older, especially with everything that's going on right now with COVID. Like the little things, like the sentimental things, I think were a lot more valuable. So it was really important to me to try to get this back to her like it was when she got it. That's
the questions viewer ask all the time. Well, they could have bought a new one. Well, it's not the point.
It's not the point.
We don't talk about buying new. That's not what we're doing, you know?
Because then you throw the story away.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, you know.
So this has history now, and like, this is crazy.
Hopefully this will last another 20 years, you know, God willing. So,
like, I don't even believe it. Like, and there were some stains that I was scared about, but the way you recut the leather and laid it,
so a couple of the areas I covered it up. Now, there was some stains here I couldn't do much with. You see those right there?
That's fine.
I mean, I cleaned it as best as I could, but there was no, I tried to cover it up with a little bit of dye, but it looked worse than what it is now. So I cleaned the back off. So at least it's presentable. You know,
I just don't, I'm speechless.
That's cool. Good.
I almost don't even want to give it back to her. This is beautiful.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Okay, you're the man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's end it and we'll get to new business. Thank you so much for joining. And here's the customer's reaction. I'd say she liked it. All right.
Totally.
All right. Let's continue.